Welcome back, everybody, to BattleBots Reborn Cup Season 4. It's been an interesting time these past 2 episodes. It's going to be an interesting time for some more. Nick?
Alright, so here's what we got for tonight's episode. We're in Section 3 of the round of 64. Our main event's going to be a good one. It's last year's runner-up Mauler taking on the powerful drum spinner Minotaur, who got his first ever cup victory in the qualifiers this season. And then, of course, Stinger versus Vlad the Impaler is on tap for tonight. A rematch early on in the Dream Matches series. These two took each other on and had a good time. But we're going to start elsewhere. What is our first fight for tonight, Sam?
Well, it's Complete Control versus Ultraviolent. Violent?
Yeah, you're good.
Whoops. This is the second meeting in successive cup seasons for these two.
That's right, they fought last year early on in the tournament. There was a moment where both bots flipped each other and were struggling to get up, but it was Complete Control that was able to knock out Ultraviolent in the end. Kind of a quick fight.
Well, Ultraviolent's probably watched that game footage and changed their game plan. So is there anything Complete Control needs to watch out for?
Whatever it is that Ultraviolent does differently. Which, Ultraviolent, I think, is going to be a little more patient. He realizes he's the lighter machine. He's going to bounce off a lot. So Complete Control needs to go after him. Make it difficult, put him under pressure, and use the weapon.
Alright, well, let's see if he can bring the heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, better call an Uber or he'll give you a ride most unpleasant. Lift your defense, it's Complete Control! In the blue square, hi, I'd like to report a missing bot. Name, Complete Control. He's wearing black and red, and he was last seen fighting Ultraviolent!
We're just about set for the start of this match, but before we begin, let's review the rules for this competition. As always, fights consist of a single 3-minute round where bots will attempt to destroy or immobilize their opponent. Should the match last longer than 3 minutes, our panel of judges will score it based off these categories: 4 points for damage, 5 for aggression, and 6 for control and strategy. Judges have also been instructed to offer leniency towards bots with non-damaging weapons in the damage and aggression categories when possible. Pins cannot last longer than 11 seconds, and should a fight be halted due to a fusrada moment, they'll be restarted if the fight was stopped before the 2-minute mark, and sent to the judges if after the 2-minute mark. With all that said, it's robot fighting time. Let the bot battle begin. These two ready to prove themselves after their last fight. Complete Control knockout victory. What has Ultraviolent learned? We're going to find out today. There's a good attack by Ultraviolent. He's underneath Complete Control, and he's able to tip him over.
Just that 1 second of getting underneath him did it well.
It was a very good job of capitalizing on the opportunities. Complete Control briefly struggling to get up, and now he's back. Ultraviolent trying to work the angles again. Big head-on clash as both bots with low ground clearance that they struggle to get under each other a little bit. Charge again, Complete Control now with a good bite, and he's got Ultraviolent flipped over. And this is where the fight ended last time. Ultraviolent able to move just slightly with the back wheels touching, but can he get himself back? He's gonna try and use the wall. That was a beautiful maneuver. He's back on his wheels.
Complete Control was hoping he'd stay down.
He's gonna have to keep fighting though. It was a good shot by Complete Control though, at the very least score points with the judges. Here comes a ram by Ultraviolent. He lost him at the last second. Another decent bite from Complete Control. Gets a shot on Ultraviolent's wedge. He's starting to get under him a little bit more. Is he gonna ultimately win this ground clearance battle? There's another missed shot by Complete Control. Ultraviolent looks like he's got the pushing power. He's underneath Complete Control again. What can he do with the opportunity?
Nothing.
Unfortunately, that was the case. Nothing. He's under again. Now Complete Control is completely on top of him. Ultraviolent trying to line him up. And here comes a big box drive into the wall. What a nice shot by Ultraviolent.
It seemed at first that Ultraviolent couldn't get underneath Complete Control, but now he's doing a pretty damn good job.
He's certainly earning some points back. 1 minute left in this fight, too. This is going to be very crucial. The result hangs in the balance. Ooh, nice shot by Ultraviolent. He's flipped complete control again. And now can complete control right himself again. Ultraviolent waiting patiently.
Complete control seems to be struggling just a little bit.
Will this be the end of the fight right here? Complete control's back. He's avoided the countdown, but Ultraviolent's on his case again.
Both of the bots seem to be tiring out a bit.
It's been a full-on 100% effort from the start. They've been sprinting around the box. Look at the pushing battle from both machines, neither trying to give up any inches. Final 10 seconds here. Is there one big shot left in it for either machine? Ultraviolent trying to get underneath complete control. He's not going to. The fight's over. That's going to be a fun one. All right, Sam, let's take a look at the replays here. Both bots had some good opportunities. It was a real tough battle.
So yeah, both of them had great opportunities. It's just they couldn't get underneath each other quite often enough to really use those opportunities.
It's a very even fight to us, but let's see what the judges had to say about it. Down to the box.
The results from the judges are in. The winner, by a score of 30-15, is Ultraviolent!
Wow, not even close. Ultraviolent gets the upset by a massive margin.
Well, that was a shocking fight.
That was a very good upset from Ultraviolent. Did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah. Well, next up we have Stinger versus Vlad the Impaler. These two legendary robots will see their upgraded builds fight each other for the first time.
That's right, Vlad the Impaler over the years hasn't had a lot of upgrades, but Stinger is a completely different bot. Last time these two fought, he was massive, had a more potent weapon, but also couldn't self-right.
Well, Stinger's new build has a major issue. What is it?
So although the weapon is built now to allow for him to self-right, it's very, very weak. It bounces, it crumples up when it hits opponents and hits objects. If anything is too heavy, he's gonna struggle to get under them. So it's gonna require a lot more good driving and good decision making.
Well, with this new info, how should Vlad approach this fight?
Go at him hard, don't give him the chance to set anything up, flip him as often as you can, and don't be a gentleman, just keep going at him.
Alright, well let's see if Vlad can flip his way to victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, he won't threaten you with a good time because those don't exist when you fight him. It's Stinger! In the blue square, this bot's so old he needed special permission from the nursing home just to be here. It's Vlad the Impaler!
And let the bot battle begin. So which bot's gonna get the edge here and get some more bragging rights to add from their dream matches? Stinger going up and over Vlad the Impaler there, and you can see the problem with the new weapon.
It seems that Vlad's able to get underneath Stinger quite a bit.
Look at the flex there in the wedge of Stinger. He's going up against a lot heavier of a machine than Vlad the Impaler, and so far he can't get a single opening.
The wedge of Stinger just can't get underneath Vlad.
It's got so much flex. Oh, there's a brief moment where he had Vlad, he's got him underneath now, and there's a bit of a toss, and Vlad's on his butt.
Is this going to be it for Vlad?
It might be. Stinger's backed away, and Vlad is still stuck, and it looks like that is going to be the end of the fight. Can you believe it? Just when it seemed hopeless, Stinger pulls that out of nowhere, and he's won it. Alright, Sam, let's take a look at the replays in this fight. Well, there was Stinger's weakness. but all he needed was one good moment to win this fight.
Yeah, I want to say, though, that Stinger got a little lucky in this fight.
We'll see how that affects Stinger the rest of the campaign, but for now, he can celebrate a round of 32 spot.
Well, that was an interesting fight. What do you think, Tito? A little too slow for you?
Yeah, he's falling asleep. He didn't like that too much.
Well, hopefully the next fight will give him something to look forward to. It's Hypershock versus Red Devil. Hypershock's looking to break a trend, get past the round of 16.
We've seen a lot of good stuff from the Hypershock builds over the years. The only problem is he runs into good bots at the wrong time. He's lost to Yeti, he's lost to Tombstone, he's lost to Ice Wave. Those are his 3 cup defeats. Season 4, brand new build, very quick, very powerful. I expect big things from him.
Okay, well, let's go on about Red Devil. We saw a lot from this new Red Devil build in the Predictions 2018 series. What do you make of him?
I think he's a lot more solid than what we saw in the past. He's not going to get Fusrod into the air and sent spinning. He's very solid, compact, and controlled. I like it. It's just a lot of controls. It's complicated. Let's see if they can, when they get an opening, do the right thing.
Yeah, well, let's go watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, your odds of survival are worse than fleeing from a craps game in a New York alley. It's Hypershock! In the blue square, he'll wipe you out faster than measles wipes out the non-vaccinated kids. It's Red Devil!
Let the bot battle begin. Should be a fun one with the grappler of Red Devil already trying to get to work. Hypershock able to escape in the first time, and now he's got underneath Red Devil. Look at the pace in that box rush. Hypershock nearly flipped himself there, and now he's got himself cornered.
Yeah, that didn't play out too well for Hypershock.
It's a great chance for Red Devil to get some damage on the underside there. And I believe he took full advantage. Hard to tell with the camera angle there. Hypershock, the lighter machine, is going to bounce off a lot as we've seen. There's a nice drive. Can he get some damage here? It looks like the weapon is just missing. The Devil now out of the corner with a chance to attack again, but here comes Hypershock.
It seems like Hypershock's trying to get to some of the wheels of Red Devil.
He hasn't really used his arms yet. He's just let them act as wedges, but here's a chance to chip away again. Again, it looks like he's just missing, but he hasn't used the arms for whatever reason. You can only hold him, of course, for 10 seconds before he has 1 second to react and release. That's part of the rules this season. Hypershock abiding by them, thankfully. He's underneath Red Devil. Here's a long drive across the box. Not a big slam, and again, he's just not getting that much damage. Uh-oh, and what has happened here? Hypershock's found a way to flip himself. This is a great chance for Red Devil now to move in. Is Hypershock able to drive underside like this? He's going to be able to flip himself. Red Devil isn't giving him the chance. He's got a good bite now as he moves in on Hypershock, who just spins right round like a record.
Will this be the end for Hypershock?
They haven't started the countdown yet for whatever reason. It's probably because Red Devil keeps grappling with Hypershock and he keeps giving him a chance to slightly move around.
It looks like Red Devil got a lot of damage done to that first wheel there.
A minute left in this fight as Hypershock continues to just spin around. Now he's trying to get over to the wall and use that to flip himself, and Red Devil helps him out. That could be a crucial mistake by Red Devil. Hypershock now back on his wheels. And now he's worked an angle on Red Devil. He's underneath. Hypershock behind on points though, surely. He's got to do a lot in this final minute to win back the judges' hearts. Oh, here goes Hypershock finally using the arms, and he's flipped Red Devil now. A major turning point in this fight. Now what can Hypershock do?
Seems like Red Devil might be regretting helping out Hypershock earlier.
Hypershock is doing the gentlemanly thing and backing off, but he might still be behind on points. You think he should just go at him and cause some damage? Well, here, the countdown's almost done. I think Hypershock might end up regretting this decision to be a gentleman. The fight, though, is over. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. Well, Sam, let's take a look at the replays of this fight. There weren't too many. Both bots had each other flipped over, and Hypershock was a gentleman.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Maybe the judges should have called that a count out, but it went to the judges.
This could be controversial if Red Devil wins the decision, but let's go see if he did. Down to the box.
The results from the judges are in. The winner by a 25-20 decision is Hypershock!
So Hypershock gets the win despite him being a gentleman and not hurting Red Devil further. Fair play.
Well, I hope everybody's enjoying the night's fights. We have a little bit more for you to enjoy. Let's check out the highlights that are fully shown on Patreon.
Well, so far in Section 3 of the bracket, we've seen an upset, a surprise, and then a bit of controversy. We've seen a little bit of everything, but for the other fights, there was some consistency in the theme of domination. When Overkill took on Death Roll, it seemed like Overkill was going to struggle to keep the vertical spinner away from his wheels. Sure enough, Death Roll got both of them in a quick knockout victory. One of last year's surprise packages, Mo, opened up his Season 4 campaign against the multi-weaponed Warrior. It was clear from the get-go that Warrior was outmatched, as Mo took him down quickly and efficiently. That meant that a wipeout victory would set up a rematch from Season 3 against Mo, but he had to get through Mechavore first. Wipeout's always been known for his slow, sluggish pace, but that's always caused his opponents more problems than it caused him. Mechavore couldn't find an opening and succumbed to a knockout defeat. And in the other match between Poison Arrow and Monsoon, two vertical spinners looked like they were going to provide a fun, even contest in the beginning stages. But it wasn't long before Poison Arrow took complete control of the match, damaging Monsoon's frame and then removing his weapon to seal a very nice knockout. To see these matches in their entirety, as well as other matches in this campaign, head over to our Patreon account, link in the description, and pledge to the $1 tier. But for now, it's time to get back for the main event.
Well, that last fight apparently wasn't interesting enough for Tito because he's still falling asleep.
Okay.
Here's to hoping that the last match of the night, Mauler versus Minotaur, will do the job. Despite being last season's runner-up, Mauler is not the favorite in this match.
That's correct, and that's mainly down to the performance in last year's final against another drum spinner, Yeti. Yeti ran him off the battle box, absolutely dismantled him. And Minotaur has got similar pace, the exact same weapon. I don't like Mauler's chances, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah, Minotaur isn't exactly a safe bet. He's yet to reach his potential with some miserable past performances in the Cup.
That is true, that is true. He lost to Mo last time out, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but Season 2, he went out to Panic Attack in his first fight. He hasn't had a lot of luck. He's another one of those bots that, like, he just hasn't reached his full potential.
Yeah, well, the question lasts. Who goes through?
Well, unfortunately, the matchup is just not kind to Mauler. I think Minotaur is going to get the upset here. I don't think it's an upset. I think a lot of people are predicting him to go through.
All right, well, let's go down to the box.
Introducing in the red square. What helps you overcome a heartbreak? Using someone else as a rebound. You don't mind, do you? It's Mauler! In the blue square. Stop, baby, what's that sound? Everybody knows what's going down. Don't be dumb, just run from the drum of Minotaur!
Let the bot battle begin. Mauler hit the wall, backing away. That was a crucial early driving mistake as Minotaur moves in and nearly flips him from the get-go.
Big mistake for Mauler there.
Mauler now cornered and running for his life like he did in the final last year. Minotaur relentless.
Doesn't seem like it's going to be too good for Mauler.
And he nearly spins out there. Minotaur moving in again. He's already caused a lot of damage. Mauler spinning on his side. Minotaur waiting patiently for him to tip back over. And then Mauler finally does tip over. He's having a tough go of it already, though. Big shot again from Minotaur! And Mauler spins out and flips on his head. That's going to be the end of this fight. And Mauler, the runner-up from last year, is out in the round of 64. Well, what a fight from Minotaur. Well, another quick main event. Let's take a look at the replays. That was very much representative of last year's final.
Minotaur just kept getting in great hits, kept almost flipping him, and then successfully flipping him. It was just overall a great match for Minotaur.
Minotaur, who came into this year without a cup win, now has 2 in quick succession.
Well, we had some great fights during the night, and apparently some lazy ones because he is still sleeping.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. But it was very nice for everybody to be here. Thank you for watching. Can't wait for next week. I am the Sam.
And I'm the Barangoat.
Bye.
Take care.